All right, and I am back. Repaired our truck, fueled up, ready to head out. We'll have to take a rest stop very soon, but I think we'll go pick up our load and then find a rest stop. I'd love to barrel through this corner with some speed, but steering wheel sensitivity just isn't high enough to be able to do that. So actually, I'm going to adjust those settings again. I'm going to max out the steering non-linearity, and we'll just up the sensitivity a bit. All right. So basically the problem is that if you had full steering sensitivity on a joystick when you are moving along the highway at speed, you would be basically twitching the vehicle all over the place. You make very small adjustments when you're driving at high speeds, but at slow speeds, you need to be able to move the wheel from lock to lock without a huge amount of effort and time, or a more realistic amount of effort and time. Because it does take time to actually move the steering wheel from side to side. Like rotating the steering wheel around is not an instant thing. Hey Michael, how's it going? Alright, so we are 17 miles from our destination, half hour. It'll definitely be basically be very close to time to take our rest stop by the time we get our load picked up. But I guess we are really dedicated to hitting every single red light in San Francisco. I'll have to figure out what the rest stop is going to be once we get the load picked up. Also need to take a look at the load and see if there's any other, basically if it's just a simple deliver excavator load or if it's a basically time crunch or anything like that. Oh, well, it certainly warmed up a lot over since yesterday. Because you were still in the high 50s yesterday, weren't you? So if I feel if I sound congested and nasally, that is my cat's fault. I brushed out my cat's fur. They're shedding all over the place. Now there's like little bits of cat fluff still floating around the house. Okay, we made a few green lights. I'm happy about that. I was starting to feel like I was gonna hit every red light in San Francisco, but we've had a few that we were able to just go right through. Okay, so we're just about at our destination. Okay. So your hometown has not made it to the map of Texas. Now I do imagine Dallas is certainly going to be there in a significant way. Yeah, Dallas is one of the things wouldn't I couldn't imagine making a map of Texas and not having Dallas in it. Basically, Dallas and Houston just seemed like they would be the cities you could not you basically you need to put them in. Yeah, whatever. We'll do it with the longer trailer. I like the longer trailer. Okay, so we'll take the job. Go grab the trailer from the back of the construction site. I don't know why we're taking an excavator out of here. Seems like a place that still needs an excavator working. It's gonna be a lot of. I mean, I guess the core really there has been sorted out. And it certainly is not unrealistic to have basically be picking up a load and going, really? You're done with this? Yeah, I do look forward to exploring Texas. I think after this week I'll probably be taking a break from this game. Okay, no, there for a second I thought I was not leaving myself enough room, but that did go fine. Okay, so no, I am half an hour from needing a nap. That looks like that might be. I mean, it's a bit farther down the road than we'd like, but it's very, very convenient. The other option is to just pull over the road. We'll go with the most convenient option. It's going to be pushing. We should be, basically, we are going to be out of hours before we get there. But okay, we are not really clear. I'm going to be cutting that car off. There's no way to not do that. And we are going to have to stop at this red light. Hey Jess, how's it going? Yeah, keeping the guacamole in the fridge seems like a really good idea. Keeping it in the freezer does not seem like it's as good of an idea. I definitely don't put guacamole in the fridge. It does, or in the freezer. It doesn't seem like I want frozen guacamole. Actually, just trying to think, where am I think I've got, yeah, I've got 2 drivers. So I'm trying to earn enough money to put another vehicle into my garage at price. So far, Elio is still earning very little, but she's been working for a very short period of time. I feel like I don't feel as like I don't like freezing fruits and vegetables. Like I don't want to really freeze avocado. I want to refrigerate avocado. I do not want to freeze avocado. But also just I don't know like that. Then again, I do. Okay, we're passing this guy. I don't know why he's going so slow. Oh, it's a road cleaner, road sweeper. So that would be why he's going so slow. But yeah, that's you do make a point of like frozen fruits and vegetables at their peak do give you a better vegetable when you thaw them. But that's I am a really big fan of raw fruits and vegetables, and that is not ideal. Basically, if you freeze fruit or vegetable, it is no longer great for eating raw. If you're cooking it up, it is fantastic still, but it's lost something. Basically, when the sugars freeze in a fruit, you've lost something important. Yeah. But yeah, there's something that happens in fruit and vegetable once it's been frozen that when you basically you de-thaw it, it loses its crispness. But if you're going to just cook it up anyway, that doesn't matter. And rather than having it be like soft and sad from having like wilted, freezing is probably a better option there. All right, I think this is just about perfect time to be pulling over to the side of the road and taking a rest. Okay, we pull into a rest stop and get some rest. Well, we made a bit of money over the night. So Sarah H made me 3 grand over the day. Maria M continues to like knock it out of the park and got me 26,000. Maria M has leveled up as you would expect from whatever run she just did. Is probably a long one. So the bulk of the money just came from her. Actually, pretty much almost all the money came from her. She did more than 10 times what everyone else did over the period where I was sleeping. It's going to be a long time before she's not in play of the month at this rate. I've got one absolute rock star and a bunch of other perfectly adequate drivers. Alright, how much time do I have to do this delivery? 55 hours remain. And it's going to take me 22 hours to do so. We're not hurting for time on this. That is good. Now, definitely this is not going to really be covering any new roads. All of the roads that this takes, basically the same roads we took. Oh, this might be new roads over to Reno, because we got detoured out of, basically we should have gone here, but we got detoured around it, didn't we? No, we went up to Reading, from Reading down San Francisco. So yeah, this is just a road we haven't done before. But then all the rest of this is pretty much been there, done there, that for road. The very last leg of it will be new, but other than that, we've done most of the road. Although mostly it's been going either northwest or southeast. This time we are basically taking the same roads, but we are navigating them in a northeast direction. So far looks like it's going to be a nice clear day, but there is a chance that this is going to turn into overcast, rainy day. There's clouds ahead of us in the way we're going. Yep. And that's the thing of like with the size of Texas, I am looking forward to seeing basically how the road system all adds together. Okay, hold on. Is there? Oh, I need to be in one of these lanes. So it seems like the game just makes me go through here. I'll have to look into it and see if I have to do this or if there's a way to just roll through the e-tolls. Because if I was hauling a lot of loads here, I would definitely be setting myself up so I don't have to stop here for the tolls all the time. Yeah, that'd be. I don't know if I feel like your U-turn lanes, the couple that I saw, I'd be hesitant to try to take a big rig through them. They're basically, I guess it depends on the size of the trailer and how much it's going to track out. But there's some times where you want to take more than one lane, and the U-turn lane is just a single lane. And if I try to take more than that lane, I'm taking an oncoming traffic lane. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how they have put those in the game and whether they are something that. And once again, I don't know that I am going to get the chance to use them frequently in the game because most of the time I don't need to do a U-turn. I'm trying to get from destination A to destination B. I don't generally need to turn around on the highway. But it will be interesting. I look forward to seeing how it works out in the game. And definitely part of what I'm looking forward to about Texas being added is that I'll be able to significantly increase the distance of my longest run. Because currently about the longest run I can do is 1,600 miles, I think. Yeah, Texas, and that's going to add a lot of distance to that. Looks like a decent sized prescribed burn going across the channel. Basically the other side of the channel is getting a big spring burn. This is the time to do it. It's still, everything's still like wet. Basically burns are not going to go out of control, but you get all of that stuff that's going to really dry out in the summer and be flammable. This is not what I would have, I mean, I guess, you know, this really probably is a incline that is steep enough to... Nope, that. For some reason that camera does not exist currently. If I go from, no, that camera. Yeah, I do not get why that camera just sometimes doesn't exist, but whatever. I think it might be that they literally have plotted along where that camera can possibly be, and sometimes there just isn't a one to hop to, so it just hops you back to your cab view. The way the camera works in this game, I think could see a lot of improvement, but realistically I'm spending almost all of my time here inside the cab, so it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, they are not. You're not allowed to do a controlled burn on a cloudy day because the cloud, or basically the smoke, doesn't get out of the valley. It just gets pushed down. The clouds keep the smoke in. I mean, I definitely don't disagree with the U-turn thing. It is better than having to do it the more traditional way where you have to go basically cross traffic a couple times. But I just also I feel like I don't U-turn on the highway a lot, and I'm trying to decide basically how often it would be needed before I'd go, yes, this is worth putting into the highway system, because it is an additional lane. You're basically having to make your overpasses wider to be able to accommodate that. Nope, nope, not going to pull into the right lane. We have Vitus Power going versus Equus Power. Yeah, and my Latin is not good, so that's as close as I'm going to get to pronouncing either of those right. I think that would probably be Equus. Okay, we'll get past Equus Power. Then we'll get over to the right lane. Unless this guy's going to start tapping his brakes here for no reason, which he just did. That might cause problems for us. Oh, mother... as soon as I was going to go over, he just, like, slams into the other lane. Oh, man. You deserve bad things to happen to you, sir. I won't do anything mean to you. But someone will one day, and you will deserve it. Paid a loan installment for a total of $7,600. Now that is one thing I am get kind of sad where I'm like, so at this point I am a $1 million trucking company. I can borrow $500,000, and that is it. That is, I can't take out any more loans right now. I can take out a loan for $1,000 right now, or $10,000. But that's all I can do. I can't do any more. It's like, but why not? In real life, I feel like you would have trucking companies have no issue basically selling you or basically leasing you a fleet of trucks. You could basically probably sit here and lease 10, 15 trucks, however many you can use, you'd probably be able to get out. Well, the day is only getting sunnier and clearer. It's a very nice, beautiful sunny day. Definitely this, like, what the day right here that we have in game, this is exactly the sort of day that I love to go out for a motorcycle ride. It's very nice and clear and relaxing. Oh, may as well change lanes there for... since I pretty much accidentally already changed lanes. It's very calm and peaceful when you're just like sitting out here, because you don't have any of that wind noise that you would really have if you had a camera out here. And you're away from the engine, so you don't have that constant engine noise. Mind you, I guess when you're just holding steady speed, it's actually relatively peaceful in the truck as well. It's only when you're trying to build up speed, more speed, that it gets loud, or when you're trying to slow down. Yeah, it's one of those things where I like my Nissan 300ZX, but the amount of wind noise when you've got the T-tops out and the windows down, it's like you should be wearing earplugs just to drive that car, because you're probably doing hearing damage if you don't. It's just the wind is so loud. Of course, the faster you're going, the louder it gets. So if you're sitting there doing 80 miles an hour, it's really damn loud. If you're doing like 40 miles an hour, it's really not so bad. But that's why also I find if I wear earplugs while I ride a motorcycle, I don't get tired as quick. Honestly, for the amount of noise in a big rig, because I haven't been in a big rig for very long, but I have done a like 1 day ride along with Jeff because he needed to move his car. And the amount of noise in a big rig, I'm like, I would honestly be willing to just like get the ones that are, they're not built to like really stop a lot of noise, but they're just down to like designed to like reduce the amount of noise a little bit. I'm like, I'd probably put those in for being in a big rig. Just cut the noise a little bit. Now, it's actually one thing I'm kind of looking forward to checking out in the summer. The new vehicle I bought, I haven't really driven it in a hot summer day yet. There's a couple things where I'm like excited for, because when you first sit down in a vehicle, especially a black vehicle, and I hate the fact that it had to be a black vehicle, but that was the one, had everything else I wanted, so I went with the black one. But basically the vehicle I got, you can roll down the rear window, and it has a sunroof. So you basically roll down the front windows and the sunroof, and you roll down the rear window. The amount of airflow you get through the vehicle was going to be kind of insane, because it's not just like you can basically just like create a column of airflow right through the vehicle, which means all that really hot air that's been built up in the vehicle, you'll be able to clear that out really fast. I look forward to that. And then also the front two seats, they basically get fans in them, so you can actually, they might be black leather, but you can actually cool off the seats as well. So I look forward to that as well. Speed limit is here to 80, so I'm sitting here trying to do 90. And I'm doing 90, but it's basically, I've made the steering wheel more sensitive, which means this is super twitchy. And that is, Jeff has recently bought a wheel for playing this game, and I definitely think that is a game changer. Playing this game with a wheel is much better. Or at least I would guess it is much better. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I think short term I'd handle trucking just fine because I'd get caught up on a bunch of audiobooks and podcasts and all that stuff. Long term, it's like it would kind of suck because yeah, I'd kind of run out of audiobooks that I really wanted to listen to. I would. It's one of those things of I definitely understand why truck drivers need to have good phone plans because gonna want to call home and chat with someone. Gotta have someone to talk to. Oh, I was gonna change lanes to pass, but if you're going to, I guess I will not. Yeah, that is fair. That is where it would be easier being a truck driver in the prairies where you can make a phone call from anywhere. Everywhere's got cell service. Out in the mountains, there's a lot of areas where you just can't make a call. I'm a little surprised that with the that basically Starlink hasn't offered some sort of like cell plan. Because for people who live in the mountains, basically being able to go, hey, I've got Starlink, let me make phone calls through that same system. Because Starlink should be giving you access to places in places where you normally wouldn't. It's like satellite phones have been a thing for a long time. With Starlink being up, these satellite phones should be able to be done a lot cheaper. So I'm kind of surprised Starlink hasn't looked at also doing phone plans. Yeah, and that's the thing of being a truck driver. You're definitely always basically you're always going to have to just kind of work with whatever route you're running. Where in there can you make a phone call? Where in there can you do whatever? So everything has to be planned around the route. The route takes priority. You got to make everything else just work with it. All right, 300 miles from Salt Lake City. Still have 13 hours before delivery will be done. And our next rest stop is in 6 hours, so Still got some time, although I will need to start planning out my rest stop sooner than later. So when I leave it so I have like an hour left, then very often I find myself in a position where I'm like, oh, the rest stop I really should have stopped at, I have already passed. There isn't another good one for like 3 hours. Which I do have issues with. You should not have a situation where you're basically unable to find a rest stop for several hours in a row. You have a sleeper. Anywhere where you can pull over, you could just stop and sleep. Yeah, there's this thing of like, I think a lot of people don't think about it, the fact that truck drivers like build their entire life around having to make certain, like basically, I need to get from here to here in this amount of time, and my entire life needs to revolve around how to get that done. Where I sleep, where I eat, where I like take bathroom breaks, all of it revolves around this. And it's just such a, it's kind of, it's a crazy idea, but that totally is the way it works. So on one side, for people who are like shipping, like container ships, have it easier in a way because they're basically stuck on that same haul for weeks, but at the same time, all of it, everything's on boat. So it's just a case of boat leaves whenever, and you work your shifts, and basically go to sleep, basically by the clockwork of that. But everything is very much of a this is when stuff happens, and that's at only at either end, at docking and departing. Do things kind of break out of a very sort of set pattern? All right, I guess it's time to slow down because if traffic's just going to slow down here, I am stuck with it. All right, can pull into that scale, or are we going to bypass? And we pull in. Okay, cool. Good thing I'm not in the left lane for this. Okay, I'm going to take just a moment. Going to be right back. Just going to grab a drink. Yeah, I'm in the same deal of I I need to drink a lot more when I am chatting away for so long. Yeah, and I have a nice big pint glass. That's funny because I'm definitely sure you look at it, you're like, yep, this was meant to hold beer, and it has absolutely never had beer in it. But I do really like it just because I can fill it full of like iced tea or whatever, and it takes me a couple hours before it is empty. I just didn't think ahead and did not fill it up before starting the stream. You need to change lanes or you need to slow down, sir. Because I ain't just letting you come in. Or sorry, I am going in and you're going to have to let me. It's not a case of letting him in, it was a case of forcing my way in. And we are stuck waiting behind. We have traffic moving through, so we're just stuck waiting. Not really, like, this is not a particularly heavy load. Like, I guess we're at 38,000 pounds isn't super light or anything. It just feels like this hits a little bit harder than it should. My truck should be able to accelerate up hills a bit better, in my opinion, but what do I know? That is why I still do want a bigger, more powerful engine in this game. I don't care how expensive it is. Just give me something kind of ridiculous. Give me like 1,000 horsepower, 5,000 foot-pound of torque engine. Give me something insane. I definitely feel like I'm probably driving a little bit quicker on this road than I should be. It's just a little bit difficult to control. So now, I'm guessing that, so this bridge wasn't made to, like, because the rocks were something they needed to go around. The rocks are relatively low there. That tunnel exists for one reason only, and that is to let wildlife go over. I could be wrong, but I'd be willing to bet money on that. That's a wildlife bridge, not a tunnel built because they couldn't get through the rock. So with how little there was above the road there, that would have been easy to just, it'd been easier to just blow it all up. In fact, they probably did blow it all up and then make the bridge after anyway. Yeah, that was 100%. I'm like, that's for wildlife. That's what that is. Give the wildlife somewhere to cross where they don't get hit by vehicles. And after a few generations, they might even get smart enough that they just automatically do it rather than jump across the highway. Yeah, I do feel like Highway 1 should have so many wildlife crossings in it, in my opinion. At least in the western edge, where it's you like it has an impact on wildlife's ability to move. So in that case, you should be putting a ton of bridges in. Let the wildlife move the way that they naturally want to. So otherwise you end up with weird environmental disasters where animals have basically died out just because a road cut off their usual travel path, and they're now trying to avoid traveling when they need to travel. They need to migrate. Yeah, that's the wildlife underpasses. There's a lot of them, and those are like basically they don't have to be a wildlife overpass. It just has to be a wildlife crossing. Oh, we are coming to a screeching halt. Once again, there's a truck in the left lane. They should just make it if a truck's in the left lane and can't make it to one of these. Okay, how do I? Because this is just going to get backed up and is not going to get anywhere. Nope. I'm like, can I make this? But really, like, am I not hitting that red car? Oh, sweet. The car just backed up. Because it was so dang close. I'm like, I gotta be hitting it. Like, I've got to be getting too close. But then I was like, why is that truck stuck in the right lane? Like, this is something that I'm like, this is a bug that really should be fixed. A truck in the left lane stopping to try to make it into the scale should just bypass the scale. You should have basically be like, hey, if this truck is slamming on its brakes because they can't figure out how to get in the scale, just have it carry on. Who cares? Who cares if the AI trucks skip scales? Because I wouldn't notice if they just went, ah, shit, and drove past the scales. I do, however, notice when the entire road comes screeching to a halt, like at least like once once a day, because a truck can't make it into the scale. So there's room for improvement there, that's for sure. Coming up on a train. That train seems impossibly large with the scale of everything else. I know trains are big, but everything else just seemed to be dwarfed too much by it, because the train was still behind it by some distance. Whatever. I was gonna try to get a cool camera shot there, but by the time I got everything figured out, it was gonna be long gone anyway. So probably time to start looking. Yeah, I've got 2 hours till I need to take a nap, which like I could like if I just taken that exit over here would not have been a bad time, but a little bit early. That one's an hour away, so actually that's actually pretty great. That's not bad at all. But that one's less than 2 hours away, so that honestly is probably the perfect one. But I am going to have to take a separate stop for fuel. At that point, what happens if I try to set that one? Still less than 2 hours away. Like that's going to be pulling out the limits a little bit, but I think we can work with that. All right, so that's what we'll do. That's our plan. We'll get through Salt Lake City, and I totally didn't even pay attention to what city we're stopping in. Rock Springs is no, Evanston, uh, not Montana, Evanston, Wyoming is where we're going to be stopping. Which we will be pushing our. Actually, we might, if it's dark enough, we might end up just pulling over early at the one prior to that. Because it's not a bad time and place to be doing that. Not a bad time to, like, basically, I don't want to go to bed too early because then you wake up too early and it becomes a cycle of you basically just slowly advance your wake up time until you're waking up at like 2 o'clock in the morning going, wait, why am I driving mostly at night again? Definitely came through there with a lot of speed, but all that turned out pretty good. So A plus. I'm a fan. I like that. All right, then here in Salt Lake City, we are taking this exit. Just realized we've been getting some good income during the day. We'll be able to pay off that $100,000 loan. But also, when we finish this run, we should actually get in a place of being able to buy that third truck and get our new garage entirely full, at least for now. I hear a motorcycle. I think it's a motorcycle driving past my place. Must be the season. It's starting. I will probably be insuring my motorcycle soon, actually. Real soon. Yes, getting real tired. It's getting late. I hear ya. Yeah, usually, basically motorcycles don't go past my place a lot. Mind you, just traffic doesn't go past my place a lot. But we're getting to that season of, it is motorcycle season. It is a very nice day out there for it, so I can't blame anyone for it. dropping into that sunset a little bit, and we'll definitely be going to sleep as soon as we can now. Yeah, it's been the sort of day where it starts to feel very nice, and you look outside and you're like, yeah, it's time to start doing things outside. But with motorcycle, you do also get that wind chill. So 10 degrees feels really nice after winter. Motorcycle, that it's still cold, still pretty dang chilly. Okay, so going to go to sleep earlier than planned because I've got to pull into this uh, weigh scale anyway, and I may as well just go through and use the rest stop when I'm there at that point. So Evanston will not be our stop unless that's what I decide to do for fuel, but I think I would rather stop at a place like that or that for fuel, places where the fuel station is closer to the road. All right, so gross vehicle weight, 79,000 pounds. Hand sewing cover for the framework. So that'd be nice. It'd be nice to have a cover that actually fits it perfectly. Which, yeah, I guess there's not a lot of options for covers and cases for the framework, just due to it being a lower quantity sort of deal. Oh, are you kidding me? I have somehow missed the spot. Yeah, so right over there, there's a spot that works. There. Okay, we've taken a break, got some rest, wake up at 7:30 in the morning, and are back to work. But let's take a look at that bank. We can repay our $100,000 loan. And it's going to cost us $200,000 to buy the next truck. So once I get $100,000 built up, rather than try and pay down more of the loan, I will take that $100,000 loan back out and use that money to buy a third truck. See how my drivers are doing. Oh, Elio, you are not doing great. She is on average at the moment making me $94 a day. That's not spectacular. Oh, and Maria M is not doing as good as she was there for a while. We actually have Matthew P out performing her. She is still earning more per mile than him, but must be getting less miles. But either way, yeah, so my average is 51,000 a day. Meanwhile, the best driver is earning me 7,300 a day. All right. So we could take that loop back through the scale. But I just want to get back onto I-80, so we're going to take this exit. It has a tight corner. I am going through the weeds so hard right now. They gave me this as an option. I'm taking it. We're going. Mother. Had so much nice speed built up, but I understand how to read a yield sign. So hoping it'll just fly through that and hit the highway with speed, but that is not how that went at all. Alright, well, we have made it out of there. Time to just keep on plugging on forward. Got 7 hours to finish our delivery, which is plenty. Or no, we've got 7 hours till we should be completing our delivery. We have 31 hours more with which to do it, which should be very easily doable. I could take another couple of rest stops and still make it. Yes, that is fair. I'm surprised that the framework is as thin as it is. I would have figured a modular laptop like that would just inherently have to be a little bit thicker than that. That's kind of impressive. Yeah, it's thing. So it really does bug me when manufacturers let the keys touch the screen in their design. Make a gap. Make it have a gap so the keys can't touch the screen. Alright, speed limit is 80. Which of course obviously means then it's time to go to 90. But I do love that the speedometer pins out at 80. This is my peak. Basically, as far as the speedometer is concerned, I'm doing 80. There is nothing past 80. Oh, that's right. I need to stop for fuel. It's not critical yet. I still got 200 miles before I need to. But my current fuel tank will not last me till my destination. So let's take a look along the path for the most convenient fuel stations. Actually, that was probably not the most convenient, but I really kind of like it. And it is 140 miles away. Unfortunately, I can't GPS to it. So I'll just have to try to remember to actually do it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You know, other than just running out of fuel. I guess we're just stuck in the traffic here. That's all right. Yes, the fuel warning light has come on. When the fuel warning light comes on, I usually have roughly 200 miles left. We are still just a bit over that. We're at 206 right now. So this is definitely one of my biggest pet peeves in like real driving is being stuck following someone in the left lane who has zero interest in going faster than the people in the right lane. But I can't criticize it for being bad AI or anything, because man, does this happen a lot in real life. I love it. It's like, yeah, speed limit's 80. We're stuck here doing maybe 70. Yeah, by the time I'm doing 70, I'm already starting to catch up with them. So we're doing 10 miles per hour under the speed limit. Maybe a little bit less. No, I'm still gaining them at 72, 71. So yeah, we're doing 10 miles under the speed limit. Why? Because we can. It is, after all, just the maximum speed, right? That's how this goes. There's no minimum speed, there's only a maximum speed. That is where I do like the areas that have laws where it's like, this is your maximum speed, this is your minimum speed. If you can't do the minimum speed, get off the highway. Exceptions for like really bad snowstorms and other things that like legitimately will affect your ability to maintain speed. Because that's I'll never get mad at someone for driving slow in the snowstorm, but when someone is doing 90 in a 100 zone and hanging out in the left lane on a clear sunny day, you're doing too many things wrong. You have run out of patience from me. I want you off the road now, please. Go home. Think about what you've done. Consider either getting better at driving or stopping driving altogether. So if you're going to go less than the speed limit, Don't be in the left lane. If you're not comfortable doing speed limits on a nice sunny day, why? It is one of those things where there are people, despite having a lot of years of experience at life, they are not familiar and experienced with driving, so they don't drive well. The only way to get good at driving is to do a lot of driving. It's the same with everything else. If you want to get good at something, you got to do a lot of it. So you do get these people who have basically, you know, they've only got a couple thousand hours driving over the entirety of their life experience, and so they've never gotten good at it. And then as they get old and their ability to see, hear, and move their neck to basically actually check their surroundings gets worse. They don't have the driving skills necessary to stay comfortable and safe on the road, and then it just makes an unsafe situation for everyone. Okay, we got 100 miles left on our fuel tank. We haven't filled up yet during today's stream, so this will be probably the longest I've gone without filling up. Actually, that's not true. I've pushed it pretty low just because forgetting about it, but still, I normally don't let the fuel get this low. This is a bit of a abnormality. Bit of a squiggly road. I don't actually think I want to be speeding down this at all. Speed limit seems to be a very adequate speed on here. There is that gas station that I wanted to hit up. If I didn't know better, I'd say I'd been to this gas station in real life. But I've never been to this area of Wyoming. And definitely the gas station I'm thinking of that this feels a lot like is not in Wyoming. It is in central BC. It's on the way to Prince George. All right. This is going to cost me a fair amount of money. I'm going to guess 1,400 bucks. Probably it's going to be more like 1,300. Oof. 1,525. Not nothing. Oh wait. I don't think I can go this way. Yeah, the game literally just is like, no, you cannot go here. That is fine. I thought it was going to be able to just turn around the building, but I can't do that. We'll just pull a loop out this way, and that'll be fine. Okay, made it to here, and off we go. So I didn't catch the name of which driver, but they managed to not find a job and just cost me 200 bucks. That's fine. That happens. That is not a big deal. Uh, it does get me how they drive. Basically, if they can't find they take a job from home out and from where they ended up home, and that's it. It's always a trip out, trip back. It's never, they will never take a load from point A to point B to point C to point A. It's always home to A to home, home to B, B to home. Whereas if they were to chain things along to have like a couple weeks of driving instead of a couple days of driving, they'd be able to go from home to A to B, B to C, and then from C to home. But even with the way they are, they make me a decent chunk of money, so I will not complain. Slow down a lot here, just because I wasn't quite sure how this was, how bad this corner was going to be, but as it turns out, I really could have not slowed down nearly as much. Still going to go with the rather safe than sorry idea on that, but I did slow down more than needed. Alright. I could complain about how I dislike cities that have highways come to a screeching stop when they hit them, but this is just one of those things where I think this is a flaw in the way that most infrastructure in most places is planned out. There should always be highways that bypass cities. You should try to have a highway with as few stops as you can. Ideally, you like all these highways that connect cities should be freeways. There should be no stoplights ever. I understand that that's realistic, but man, would it make for a much nicer driving experience for long distance driving. And it would save a lot of fuel. There's a lot of fuel wasted taking travelers, like especially up like big rigs, that are traveling long distances and requiring them to stop repeatedly every city they come across. Let's get over to that lane. Now, I'd love to hear like, oh. So I'd like to say that is completely not my fault. And also, dude, you have an empty lane there. Why did this become a problem? You should have been able to make that no problem. That is terrible driver. Now, of course, I'm stuck through another light cycle because some idiot hit me while turning. Sure hope that guy's not turning. Like, and it is an intersection that's past 9 degrees, so this is a trickier intersection, but still. That was ridiculous. Well, that was running a red light right there. I had that green light for quite a while before he came across. Okay, where is this? All right, Casper. Anyone from Casper? If American Truck Simulators has been accurate about your city, you have terrible drivers. Get better. Does your brother usually work the evening shift? Or does he work all kinds of different shifts? All right. Okay, so your brother usually works evening shifts. Does he work like retail or something, or like like public facing job, or does he also work in a factory or factory-like job? Basically, is he working in the industrial area, or is he working in like the retail food food sort of experience area? We're just gonna go ahead. Pretend like that was a nice full stop. Okay, so he works in a retail store of some type. Unless he's in a place that makes clothing, in that case he would be industrial, but either way, yeah. I used to work evening shifts. Evening shifts weren't too bad. I just found that I was very unproductive when I worked on evening shifts because my entire day was always kind of being held ransom by work. Until I got work out of the way, I wasn't free to do other things, and because by the point where work was out of the way, it was late at night and I needed to go to bed. It just ended up being it was an experience I did not end up enjoying. Although I think at that point, if I just kind of given into where my natural habits fall, where I'm actually most productive between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. If I just done that and been like, nope, going to get my work done at night, that would have worked out. Mind you, this was back when I still lived at home with my parents, and there was like when we moved to BC, me and my brother briefly shared a room. So this was during that time. So it would not have been kind to him for me to be awake and trying to work while he was sleeping. But now that I get more leeway in basically when I need to sleep and do all that, I realized that I'm actually get the most done when it is early in the new day. Basically, the first few hours of the new day is when I get the most amount of work done. Yep. Yeah, it's easier just to be on the same shift. If someone else has to be on a shift and you can be flexible, it is better to just be on their shift. It's easier. And that is also part of the reason why I find it's very easy for me to do the basically be productive in the very early hours of the morning. Is Mel's work usually does not work out that way. but she also does have a tendency to stay up late. And this means that now it's easier for me just to stay up late than for me to try to always wake up early. Basically, there's a whole bunch of reasons why this works better for me, particularly right now. But the being more productive for the schedule was the surprising bit. However, because everything like needing to be awake for early mornings for various random things does still happen. I still force myself to work basically to work in a limited sleep adjustment. Like right now, I am waking up at 10 in the morning, and then I do not stay up later than 2, other than the other night where I stayed up till 5. But that was basically to try to kind of reset my sleep schedule, make myself tired so I could fall asleep on time and actually be productive. But that's the 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. is, or I guess 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. is my sleep schedule right now, and it works out for me. It's a kind of hybrid of giving me the best of everything. I know this is red and I'm not supposed to turn on this, but there's no oncoming traffic right now, and the other road, like it's green for my side of travel. Yeah, I'm very okay with a little bit of mud on the tires, as long as they're tires that, like my motorcycle tires getting mud on them, I'm a lot less excited about. My 4Runner tires getting mud on them, not a problem. I'm okay with it. It's fine. So that's one thing. Usually when I have like dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, I actually try to book them for the morning because then I wake up, do that, and then it's done. It's out of the way. Because if I've got something scheduled, I hate like if I have it at like 2 p.m. I get nothing done before 2 p.m. because basically I'm just like sitting there waiting for that to come around. I always like sit there and get stuck on that thing. But on the day, or if I'm giving you a drive to the dentist, if I'm giving you a ride to the dentist appointment, later that day I'll probably be packing for my trip to PG. So morning works. Could pass this guy. Not going to. All right, 55 miles to destination. We are almost there. Nope, I am getting a phone call. I'm getting a phone call from Scotiabank. I will be right back. Okay, and I am back. Just Scotiabank trying to call me and trying to get me to get a credit card through them. It does get me that like most of banking comes down to trying to get or like most financial institutions, and like doesn't matter what it is. It's they basically just want to get you using a credit card through them because that's the real big money maker. That's where people let things stand on credit cards and pay 20% interest rates. Oh, and we have an exit to make. And of course, there's a bus coming along here at the not the most convenient time. We can still make the corner, but that requires us to be a little bit more tight on our corner. Oh, and I started upshifting. I should not have upshifted yet. Oh, really? It's not illegal to just exit the highway onto a service road? Like, it's definitely one of those things I would have done. I would definitely just be like, screw it and go for it. But I wouldn't have actually guessed that it would be legal to do so. I would have definitely assumed that that would be an illegal. Basically, yeah. I would not have guessed that it is legal to just exit the highway into the grass. Yeah, I don't think I've ever really looked at it and seen whether it's specifically legal or illegal. So is that dust coming off like a quarry or something, or is that yeah, that's a rock quarry right there. All right, and we've arrived at Namek. Not the, planet from Dragon Ball Z. Namek, the construction company. Okay, now we see where they want their excavator. I do love that the speed limit here is 70. Could you realistically do 70 along here? No, but if you want to try, you're more than welcome. That seems like that's going to be a ridiculously easy one to park. But I don't actually know what's there. This might end up being much more difficult than what they are making it look like. I know that should be a really easy one. That's just going to be a case of just pull right past it and back into it. Excuse me. If they were all this easy, this would be kind of ridiculous. Do need to get that trailer actually tipped into the range. I feel like this should have been just a simple one try backup, but I did not do that nearly as neatly or cleanly as I could have. Say me bumping that piece of equipment totally didn't happen. No one saw it. This is an easy run, and I wouldn't screw it up in any possible way. You must be imagining it. But there, that was basically super simple, as simple as you could be, while still requiring some amount of backing up. Okay, we will do high value cargo next. And so we're so close to being able to afford another truck. We basically need $10,000 more, and we could do this. Oh wait, we can. So if we take out that loan and that loan, we have taken out as much money as we can. But let's go to a truck dealer. Peterbilt. Buy online. We are going to buy a high-rise sleeper. And we're going to put it in the Utah garage, the empty slot here. We have paid it. We have $1,600 left, which I think is the perfect amount to be able to hire someone. I think I'm actually going to take Lewis J. He's going to take a lot, like the best option would be Alice here. No, you know what? We'll go with the best option. Alice has more skills. She costs a bit more, but I think it's also she's going to make more money more quickly because she will get more bonuses earlier on. So we'll put her in that truck right there. Oh, I didn't realize there's also apparently another page that I was unaware of. It only had Gertrude on it, but okay. And then we manage our drivers. Alice, we want you focusing on fragile cargo. Let's do fragile cargo. Elio is focusing on long distance. Sarah is focusing on hazardous cargo. And Maria has finished the long distance run and is now doing balanced. And all the others are also doing balanced, where I think Matthew P is starting to have a pretty good earning because he has got quite a bit of points in a lot of things. So his earnings should continue to basically pop up quite quickly. Yeah, LEO has gone from earning $94 a day to $1,278 for me every day. So that is pretty good. Okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be the end of the stream. It probably will be the end of the stream. It's 4 o'clock. I don't know. Let's see what I find in the job market. If I find something interesting, I'll do another short run first. That is the opposite of a short run. 1,697 miles. Actually, it would be very hard currently in this game to find a run longer than that. Okay, so let's do kind of like a run about that same distance, but I want it up into Montana, not down. Okay, so if that's not an option, let's look at... Okay, so Farmington, New Mexico versus Colville, Flagstaff, Arizona, Olympia, Washington. I hate Olympia. Olympia is just one of those places I hate going to, and it's entirely because Seattle's in the way, and it's just such a big pain in the butt. All right, we're going to Farmington, New Mexico. That's what we're gonna do. It's an 800 mile run. So it is 50 miles just to get to the site. Actually, I'm gonna leave here the wrong way, just because I feel like making the loop. So I feel like, while your mom's probably smart in saying no, also, the speed limit's 55, then the speed limit's 55. It's not your fault the speed limit's 55. Oh yeah, also, I guess I will probably not be streaming tomorrow. And by probably, I mean I'm pretty much guaranteed to not be streaming tomorrow because my wife wants to go skiing. And this is probably going to be the last time we can go skiing this year, so I figured I should probably say yes. So I will be going skiing tomorrow instead of streaming. I will be streaming again on Friday, but I'm also curious to see where Juan will be for the weekend. I'm curious to see how his adventure is going, because it's certainly been an adventure. Yeah, hopefully everything's turned out great and he's just busy basically keeping his nose to the grindstone and getting work done. But yeah, I do hope that gets sorted out, and there's a lot of room for it to have not been worked out in basically for things to have not turned out great. So hopefully that's not the case. Oh, he has not gone on duty today. Oh. That's not good. Nope. Couldn't quite make that turn as sharp as I'd like. Yeah, okay. Like, it's a double solid. That doesn't mean I can't pass. The oncoming traffic, however, does mean I can't pass. So, of course, now that I've decided to extend the stream a bit, Jeff's probably logged off and gone and done something else. But that's okay. I didn't actually extend this stream because Jeff showed up. I extended the stream because I looked at the time and went, oh, it's only 4. I can still keep streaming for a bit longer. want to do a long run. Don't want to do a 2-hour trip. But I do not teach swords this evening, so I get a little bit more time before other things come up. Alright, we're almost at our destination. We are in... No, I was going to say we're in Farmington. We're not in Farmington. We are in Gillette, Wyoming? I think Gillette was in Wyoming. I can't remember. It's not a place I'm going to go in real life. I can just go ahead and claim the space. I certainly will. Yeah, if he's still at the shop, I mean, I guess that means he's probably trying to work out with between shop and his bosses as to what to do about the problem. So that means it has probably not been a good day. It has probably been a stressful hard day, because trying to get problems dealt with is never a pleasant thing. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine it has very likely been one of those days where it's tempting just to be like, you know what? No, how about you guys keep the truck? I'll just take my belongings out and go work for someone else. Whether that's actually the smart choice is a completely different matter. But you get those days where you just feel like being like, no, never mind. I'm out. I'm done. We tried. I tried. I'm done trying. Um, excuse me. That was not a clear. You were not clear to go. That was bad driving. Not my fault. As the second time I have been hit by someone else just being completely oblivious today. On Monday, Tuesday, there was a lot of little things that happened that were entirely my fault. But this one, today has been a day entirely of people hitting me, and it's not my fault at all. I am not even partially responsible. Meanwhile, on Monday it was very much a, am I fully responsible? No. Am I mostly responsible? Yes. Yes, very, very much so. Go with the blue trailer because the blue trailer looks nicer. All right, take the job. All right, it is this load right here. we get this out of here. Now we need to do this carefully. So with this trailer, it's a bit heavier loaded, so I get a Jeep, but I don't get a booster. It's not heavy enough to require a booster, I guess. We're gonna go at this side, just because I have a habit of going to the side, because it gives you more clearance to actually get out. Right, we'll wait for that car. We'll wait for both of those cars. Okay, so we're gonna have to have one rest stop and one fuel stop between here and our destination. Actually, we don't actually even need to make a fuel stop before reaching our destination. So we can just do that whether it's based on whether it's convenient or not. There's no requirement to do the thing. Yeah, so that definitely sucks when you're repairing, is when it's the, oh, we just one more thing, and it's like, you can get stuck in a chain of that way too easy, and it sucks just as much as the mechanic as it sucks for the people who are on the other end of it, just not knowing what's going on with their vehicle, essentially. Wider than I meant. I meant to go wide. I didn't mean to go that wide. Yeah, it does get me when you get high speed limits in what are essentially residential zones. But also, I don't mind. My neighbors seem to think that the entirety of the road that leads away from my place should be 20 kilometers an hour. They get mad at me when I'm driving speed limit. They get even more cranky if I exceed the speed limit, but they get cranky even if I am not exceeding the speed limit at all. I've gotten a neighbor getting cranky at me for doing 30 in a 50 zone along my street. Basically, my neighborhood needs a dog walking path so that people don't need to be walking their dogs on a narrow road. But I definitely keep my speed with keeping in mind that there are going to be people walking dogs along the streets that I live on. So I'm always keeping that in mind. I'm never really driving excessively, but they just get really cranky about it. The way to fix it would just be to give them a better, safer place to be. Yeah, I guess Juan is stuck in limbo, and yeah, I don't know what his weekend's gonna look like. Mind you, I don't really know what my weekend's gonna be looking like. This weekend is the Kelowna Fan Experience, so I will be going out to that, and I don't know how that's gonna affect everything else. I should still be able to run the stream on Saturday, but I don't actually know when I will be making it home from Kelowna on Saturday, so it is a little bit up in the air. I mean, at this point, it might also depend a little bit on where Juan gets to by Saturday, because that's with where he's at right now. It's going to be a weird piece of limbo that is going to mess everything up. I mean, hopefully that works out. Hopefully that fixes the problem. So they actually found a short in the wiring. Yeah, and I figure, realistically, it's probably the short in the wiring that was causing the problems, not ECU. ECU may have gone bad because of short in the wiring, but that won't be what caused the initial issue. And electrical problems are always a really big pain to diagnose because it's never just as clear as this is what it is and then you fix it and done. It can be an ongoing and long, difficult to put together and figure out problem. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good list of all the things you don't want to do while driving. I say, obviously, the illegally passing a cop car is the one that you really want to avoid there. The hitting the pedestrian, hitting another car is fine. All right, how far am I away from my next rest stop? 4 hours. And 14 hours away from my trip being finished. Yep, that's the thing of if you don't know what to do in a car, your best thing to do is probably to slow down or come to basically slow down, come to a gradual stop, or if things are really going badly, just slam on the brakes. Stopping in the middle of the road sucks, but it's a lot better than hitting things. I've seen basically I think it was the TV show called Canada's Worst Driver. And basically it was a case of in it they basically gather some people who have bad driving habits and kind of teach them why their driving habits are as bad as they are. There was one guy who he would always like be texting and driving, and he basically would flat out just say that basically he could text and drive without it impacting his driving at all. So they went, okay, let us test it. So they basically had him driving around a racetrack, and he was following a truck, and the truck would basically drop cardboard boxes out of the back of it. So first they had him basically, and his goal always just drive around the cardboard boxes, don't hit the cardboard boxes. And he did it very easily. It wasn't a difficult thing to do. But then they just did it again, except for he had basically he had a tweet or not tweet, he had to text out messages to basically one of his friends or something. He basically had a series of messages he's supposed to basically text out to his friend. His friend would reply, and he's supposed to like reply with a message. And yeah, he was just sitting there, and he hit like every box. Like he barely could avoid hitting like a single box. It was just he was like hitting almost every single one. And it was like, yep, really drives home the point of the fact that it's driving a car is something that you think of as being easy, but it isn't actually easy until you have spent enough time. Like all the things that you think of as being easy are things that you've just learned to do subconsciously. They still take skill, they still take focus. I mean, I probably would not go and hide in a sleeping cousin's bed. So under a sleeping cousin's bed, maybe. But also, it seems very rude to disturb someone who's sleeping. Okay, we're back out on the highways. Three hours to a rest stop. That's a good point to start planning it out. Let's look at right here. An hour away, a little bit too close, but it would be a good rest stop. That one is 2 hours away. Not bad. See, by the time we get like out, yeah, this is going to be way too far out because by the point we get out here, we're 5 hours out. But there's a long stretch here of like no good stops. Basically, we have Denver there. So I guess it's going to be that one. We're going to stop in Fort Collins. Drifting out of my lane while a car's passing. Not a great thing to do. Alright, so hammer down and we'll see how quickly we can get to our rest stop. Right now we're not managing to even do speed limit yet, but I'm hoping we can get some progress made, get up to speed limit and go beyond. Mind you, I guess we're on a bit of an uphill because this is a very slow crawl up to speed. I don't know why I pulled into this lane. This truck is definitely not moving faster than the other lane. They Definitely should not be hanging out in the left lane doing 50 in an 80 zone. This is how you cause accidents. If you're doing a 15 and 80, you really, really should not be in the passing lane. All right, we've hit our. We got up to speed limit now. Oh, and the speed limit of course drops out from underneath us. That is fine. Still managing to go as fast as we can. Yeah, I definitely feel like if I'm organizing a game of hide and seek, the rule and someone's gonna be sleeping somewhere in the house, no going into the person's room who's sleeping. People who are sleeping deserve to have their peace and quiet. Just sitting here weaving between traffic, it's fine. Driving it like it's a race car. Close to Fort Collins. And we are an hour and a half away from needing our rest stop. That sign for? It's one of the companies that exist in the game. I don't know quite which one. The lights on it just looked weird when it first started coming up. Didn't actually mean to honk, but I did feel like it was not an inappropriate time to honk. Alright, I guess he is also taking this exit. me space, so that's nice of him. Alright, and we've discovered Fort Collins. Of course, I really wanted to take... yeah. Knew that was going to be a problem. I really wanted to take that lane, but of course then there was a truck oncoming at that moment. So I really need that truck to clear out so that I can use his lane. And of course now I've made this big tangle, haven't I? Yes, I have. And of course this is a articulated load. And that just makes everything that much more messy. This is what happens for trying to drive while tired. It's obviously the reason why that happened. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, game. That's what I'm trying to do. Where? So, I am in the spot where you're supposed to be able to rest here. But I can't get the rest to trigger. That's annoying. So is the rest stop just broken here? Alright, well, I guess we try the next one. I don't know if this one's just bugged or what, but that is definitely a bit of a problem. I don't think my headset's making a lot of noise right now. Because if I look over on OBS, it's not, unless I'm talking, it's not really being active. But now that I'm looking at it, who knows if the thing that was originally causing the issue is there or not. Now, mind you, I think I basically did have the mic just barely touching my cheek, so that could have been causing issues there. So there's a rest area here, but I don't think you can use the rest area unless you own the garage. So I'm not going to actually bother trying. I'm going to pull into this gas station and fill up. This will be a very quick little... Train's going by in the dark and you really can't see any of it. Okay, so we go to the other side of Fort Collins and basically just hope that that's going to work out better. Is there? It's not for... Okay, it's purely for the other track, not this one. Yeah, okay, the other train is coming onto this line but headed north. I can That's fine. That's not an issue. Okay, I'm gonna have to get over to that right lane in just a bit here. And realistically, I'm not going to do it by getting ahead of this truck, so I may as well just let this truck go past and then get in behind it. Alright. Yes, I discovered the Freightliner dealership. This is accurate. Oh. I apparently did not clear that very well. I had thought I had done better at that, but apparently I am incorrect. Okay, basically I'm going to just pull around the building. And then pull into this spot over here sideways. But why is that not working? Why am I not able to? So there is a rest point here. Why is the rest point not working? Okay, so right here specifically, I can now rest. So let's get back out of here. I was really hoping to use that red light to buy me enough time to be able to do this. Oh, but he is turning anyway, so that's not a problem. Can use the turning lane and the lane I'm actually trying to get into together to get me through there. No, that was not great, but it worked. Okay. So that was super annoying of not being able to find, or not being able to just easily go to hit the rest stop and rest. So that was annoying. I'm very cranky about that. Definitely did like cut that car off, but I do need to be in this lane. And that was a very tight corner. I needed the space. Yep. If you wake somebody else up who's sleeping when you shouldn't be there, that's not the problem of whoever's organizing the hide and seek. But I suppose found hide and seek is best with a clear idea of where you are allowed to go and hide and where you're not. Because there are some times where people will go and hide in areas where it's like they should not have gone hiding there. Sorry, car, but I need this lane. Let me on in. Okay, 9 hours and 15 minutes. That's going to be a close call whether I can actually deliver this before I need a rest stop. Any delay and I'm going to have to take a rest stop before I get the delivery done. I mean, I'd prefer to just not get punished. Honestly, yeah. I feel like another good punishment would be you sit the round out. If you hide in a place you're not supposed to hide, you just don't get to play the next round. You just get to sit there and watch while other people play. And you get to sit there and be quiet. You don't get to spoil it for other people. If you break that rule, then you get to sit another round out. You end up being able to just not play the game at all. I guess I don't need to be doing 84 inside Denver. Although I feel like that accurately reflects what my experience of Denver last time. May have been in a car with someone who was in a large hurry. I guess we were both in a large hurry, but regardless. I was in someone else's car. We were in a big hurry. We did Denver really quickly. Bluebonnet is the flower of Texas. I can't say that I know what a bluebonnet looks like. I've never actually looked. I have not looked it up, so. Oh wait, delivery is in 8 hours. Next rest stop is in 12 hours. Yeah, so delivery this day should be pretty hard to mess up. I get 14 hours of on-duty time, not 10. For some reason my brain had it as 10. I will definitely look it up as soon as I finish the stream, assuming I remember. I do forget easily, but Bluebonnet definitely just sounds like the sort of name I'd expect a flower to have. Alright. What is my basic route? Oh, that'll be an interesting... That'll be an interesting road. I think there's going to be a viewpoint along that. Alright. I'm looking forward to that. Probably not going to be carrying a lot of speed through that corner because that looks like a tight corner. Definitely not a freeway. I think it's actually been a while since I've actually had rain in the game. It's been a while since I've had to turn my wipers on. Oh, blue bonnets were illegal to pick up. I'm guessing they're an endangered flower. It's weird to think of a flower as an endangered thing, since it is easy to just grow them and plant them. It's harder to take care of a endangered animal than an endangered plant. But there are still endangered plants, so. Alright, well I had a good run of speeding, but now there is somebody who wants to hang out in the left lane, being slow. Oh, and we hit another speed limit drop. So that puts us in a very nice zone of speeding like crazy and passing everyone. Drive it like you stole it. Definitely one of my goals was to drive less like this when I first started playing the game, and I've been successful. I'm still, like, I get moments like this in the game, but I am not, I'm driving a little bit more sanely for most of it. But there are times where I'm like, screw it. Why am I doing 50 through this area? The roads are nice wide open. Just because the speed limit says 50, why should I do 50? But it's difficult for me to keep doing that consistently. Get impatient, start to speed, start to go faster. this stream soon now, which of course I took a run that's a bit longer than I should have, because I got 6 hours left, but I'm going to try to get it done. Alright, we do need to make the next turn off, so I'm not going to go passing these guys. Great. There is a detour, so I can't make that turn. There is no good way to avoid that turn. So if I go straight down this way, that's annoying. Going back up this way. Well, first off, I can't make that exit anyway. So realistically, okay, that turns us into basically a 12-hour drive. And this turns it in, this adds another 2 hours. Okay, first things first. Let's see if I can basically just cheat this. It is pretty narrow, so I might not be able to. And I'm also wide load. I have an idea. It's a bad idea. It's a very bad idea. This could get patented as a bad idea. Okay, but I need both lanes. Man, I don't really need both lanes. Alright, here's the on-ramp. Time for us to go down the on-ramp, which is still flowing traffic. So we are going against traffic, down an on-ramp. Booyah. And now we're over. We have successfully done it. We have completed our really, really bad idea. And it's very important to safely come to a full stop at the bottom. Because it's not like I just went against traffic on down an on-ramp. I mean, after that stunt, I can't blame you. Going against the flow of traffic to get around a wreck without any sort of basically police guidance to do so is a little bit on the risky side for behavior. Like, it's one of those things, like, when you're playing video games, you're playing like GTA, you're not even going to think twice about having done something like that. Like, that's hardly breaking the law at all by some video game standards. Like, cops aren't even going to pull you over for having done that. But in this game, that's kind of that's a relatively big one. Going against the flow of traffic is definitely one of those things of like, yep, this is how you get people killed. I mean, you probably won't, but probably won't doesn't make you feel a lot better about doing dangerous stuff like that in real life. It's not safe. Should not do. Highly don't recommend. To realize I have $20,000 sitting in my bank account. I should repay my $10,000 loan. There. Back down to 2 loans: the $100,000 and the $400,000 loans. before I do my next garage upgrade, I need to have 100,000 to upgrade it, and another 200,000 in order to do the next truck upgrade. So basically, if I pay all of these off, I can upgrade my, if I take out another loan, I can upgrade my garage and add 2 more trucks in it as part of the, basically all under one loan. No, it's okay. You can drive yourself and I'll drive myself, because you'll be perfectly safe as long as you're not on the same vehicle as me, right? It's not like having someone else, in this case me, driving down the oncoming traffic lane puts you at risk as well. Oh wait, that's exactly how that works. Yeah, if I drove like this in real life, I would not feel comfortable sharing the road with me. It is very not safe driving there for sure. I think I am clear, and it's just hard to see. Oh, definitely ran out of the passing lane, but okay, it was clear. So while that was not a good pass because it came out to the corner, it was done safe-ish. No, we'll stay behind this truck as much as I would like to not. It's not worth it. I'll carry on. Can only do so many dangerous things in a row. There's not this exit, next exit. I feel like that'd be a fair statement. That'd be a fair way to handle it. Be like, no, you do not get to keep driving after pulling that. Sit down in the passenger seat and be quiet. You don't get to whine about being kicked out of the driver's seat after pulling that crap. That would be entirely fair, because that was risky. Risky would be the correct term for it, I think. Irresponsible would also be an acceptable term. And we are going to pass him here. Don't want to speed too much, and that next right light is going to be red. Let's slow ourselves down. Man, that is a red light that just doesn't end, isn't it? Alright, it's going green. Let's go. Okay, and the road's all... Yeah, basically the going against traffic, because when people are turning onto that and going onto the on-ramp, people are trying to build up speed. They're trying to get to highway speed so that at the top they can merge in with traffic. So me now being a 120,000 pound truck coming down that on-ramp, yeah, that's dangerous. That is extremely dangerous. And it's not even like it's a nice big open space where they get choices. They don't get safe places to escape to. They don't get to get away from that. So yeah, very much dangerous move. I just wasn't willing to make this route take longer because I'm already over time for my stream. So I'm just trying to get this one run down. Okay, yeah, that does not affect me. That train track crossing is not ahead of me. That looks like a cop car. I don't know if that doesn't look like a ghost car. I don't know what does. I don't think they have ghost cars down here, do they? Because up here we got a lot of cars. There's just like a very white, nondescript car, like a sedan, like a Ford Fusion. Completely nondescript, but it's a police car that is unmarked. I think ghost cars in the States are different. They don't look... Most ones I've seen are basically black, all blacked out. Alright. Get our speed limit drop back down to 50, down to 35. Oh, what are you slamming on the brakes for there? It's not... Basically, turn into that lane and then slam on the brakes. Okay. Train will be crossing behind us. I have things to say about you, truck driver. They're not nice things, but you deserve to hear them all. Yeah, that's in most states I have been to, especially southern, the farther south I go, the more commonly I see like any ghost car is black. Here in Canada, they are white, which I feel like is more appropriate. They're called ghost cars after all. I'm very cranky about being stuck behind you because you definitely ran through, basically you turned right onto the road while I had to stop for you to be able to merge in. So truck, you are a dick. Dick with a capital R. Actually, I just don't want to be stuck behind him. Oh, this is very quick. Yeah, I'm like, this is turning into a moment here. I'd be very cranky about the fact that I'm going to be stuck behind him for this nice twisty section here, and he's going to be slamming on the brakes all the time. I'm going to be stuck worrying about my distance to him rather than enjoying the scenery. Alright, we're going to try past him again. We can see enough of the road that I think we can actually make this one. Yeah, okay. We did manage to do it. And we're not doing speed limit, but our first corner in, and we've already basically lost sight of the truck that was following us. See, yeah, I pulled off a very dangerous stunt and then I'm giving him hell. But the entire reason why I feel comfortable doing this is because this affects me, and I care more about me than him, obviously. Which is a very selfish truck driver. That's why I did that move to begin with. So I also just don't care about other people, and I'm only worried about me. Alright, we're actually managing to speed. Which, I think we're going to be scrubbing a little bit of speed for going through this corner. Because, well, that's a relatively tight corner. Luckily there's no one behind us, so we can basically just use both lanes with our trailer. So basically we are in the right lane, our trailer's in the left lane. Although we are catching more traffic, which isn't a problem, we have 2 lanes. However, I think we're going to start using just 1 lane if we're going to try to pass them here. Also, we have a big rig who is just hanging out in the left lane, taking up space, going uphill. Any truck driver who does this is a dick. And yes, I'm pulling off another dangerous move. As long as anyone's died yet, it's fine. Of course, now I'm stuck in the left lane, going uphill. Okay, that car's falling behind. I am going to move over to the left lane. And then hopefully no one's beside me for this hairpin, because then I can just use both lanes. But if I can't, then I will just need to take it slow and careful. Oh hey, we're down to 1 lane. That's excellent. This is fine. So by that sign, I'm guessing that this is going to be a bit of a steep downhill, because they basically warn trucks to use a low gear downhill. Yeah, I'm very tempted to try to use one of these runaway lanes at some point. Oh, and let's get across the lanes of traffic and get into here. We want to check out. Let's check out the viewpoint. Wolf Creek Pass. Hey Milo girl, how's it going? Oh, I like that view. That's a nice view. That seems like a very nice place to live. Very calm and serene, but still very mountainous. I like all of this. I feel like I could go here. I could live here. This would be a nice place to live. Yeah, just beautiful scenic creek, beautiful lush green hills, rocky mountains, and hiking trails with some dude randomly taking pictures. Can confirm most hiking trails have someone basically practicing the photography along it. Yeah, I very much like this this viewpoint. Let's do a quick check. Road is clear behind me. Hopefully no one's coming speeding around that corner. I don't know what you're talking about, Michael. I'm not a bad driver at all. I am completely safe and never would do anything dangerous or illegal. So Milo girl knows me better than that. So I'm a fantastic, very safe driver. Safest driver there ever was. Just go ask all of the other people who watch me drive my streams. They'll tell you that I'm a safe driver. Excuse me, sir. The speed limit's 45. You can go faster now. That's okay. When they come back around, you can ask them. You can ask Juan, Jess, Jeff, some of the new people who have shown up in the last couple weeks, and they'll tell you James is a very safe driver. Drives very safe. Never does horrible, very dangerous, illegal things that could get people killed. I'd never do such a thing. What are we stopping for? I don't know what that sudden slowdown was for, but I mean, I don't know what the weather's like around you, but the weather here is definitely starting to get to be the right weather for ice cream sandwiches. Although I don't actually eat ice cream sandwiches. I don't like ice cream sandwiches. I prefer just regular ice cream. Or maybe some freezies. Yeah, oh, drifting across the line. The weather around here is getting very nice and warm, feeling very springish for it right now. I'm sure we'll have snaps of getting a bit cooler again, but it's been one of those weeks where I'm getting really tempted to insure my motorbike, but it's a little bit early. You don't get consistently good warm weather for a while yet. Okay, 2.5 hours from our destination. 120 miles. Oh yeah, so it's already starting to cool off. Yeah, I didn't actually check the thermometer today, but the air felt nice and warm. Yeah, very soon it will be hot summer and it's going to be beautiful, but like weather that like the sun is basically just going to melt you during the day. I'm looking forward to the spring and the early summer. I'm not looking forward to the late bits of summer where it gets just too warm. All right, we are an hour and a half from our destination. Almost there. 68 more miles to go. I like summer, I like winter, I like spring more. I also really like fall. Spring and fall are absolutely my favorites. Nope. Did not go through that corner smoothly. It wasn't really a problem, but I was a bit jerky the whole way through there. Yeah, and the 100 degrees is fine. Anything past the 100 degrees is when it becomes too much. It says this is a safe place to pass, but I have my doubts. I have the most commanding view of the road. Look at that. Now I can actually see down the road. I can actually make the decision that it is safe enough time to pass. But going to that corner, I'm like, I can't see far enough ahead. For me, 100 degrees is fine. Anything past 100, 101, nope, nope, stop it. You need to cool down. Once the air, basically once everything is warmer outside of my body than inside my body, it's becoming a problem. All the way up to there, it's fine, but that's my cutoff point. That's the, you've gone too far. Okay, they're going right, I'm going left. But that is a red light, so that's actually not bad at all. I did not touch the brake on that. I just used the engine brake to stop me. So it was all gear shift there. Now I just hit the brake because I hit the throttle just a bit and started rolling forward. But everything up to that was just engine brake. That was actually really nice. Yeah, that's we only get over 100 in basically for like maybe about a month in the middle of summer. The rest of it we will not quite ever get that hot. Basically, only in the really hottest part of summer do we get to that sort of heat. All right, we are 1 mile and 5 minutes from our destination, and then at that point I will be putting an end to the stream. I agree, Milo. Because the problem is, if you start your 100-degree temperature in April, you're going to go over 100 degrees in June and July, and like I've said before, that's a problem. You shouldn't be that warm. That's just too warm. If it gets that warm, people were not meant to live there. It's as simple as that. Okay, we have gotten to our destination. It looks like that's going to be a tight turn in, so we're just going to take both lanes. And start this as late as we can. Dang it. I did all of that, and that is still too sharp of an angle. I understand your complaints, traffic. But as it turns out, I need space to be able to maneuver this monstrosity into there. Oh, I'm going to need to pull in further this way, and then get over here only towards the end of it. At least I don't have a booster at the end to deal with. Should have just taken that, because there gave me a... I'm just going to... There. We'll take it. So we did good, very good, made very good life choices until right towards the end, and then we said screw it. So we're gonna keep that going with our parking job. Now we just see if we can get out of here. Okay, yeah, I left myself a ton of space, so we can get out of here just fine. And go past the damage I caused. And over here we're at a shop, which is a good place to stop. So we can get fuel. Oh no, we can't get fuel here. Whatever, this is the Volvo dealer. We will stop the game in the parking lot here. Not quietly, please. Quickly, please. We were not going for quiet. We were just going for... we are going to flee the scene of the crime as quickly as possible. Just going to park right here. This seems like a good enough spot. Excellent. Turn off the motor. Take a quick look and see how our other drivers are doing. Everyone's doing pretty good. Got no complaints about how everyone's doing. Alice has had a much easier start than LEO did, but LEO is now making me 2,600 a day, so I will not complain about that. But okay, time to save this, and we will end that stream. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have a good evening. And if it's not evening where you are, I hope you have a good night or good morning. We will see you not tomorrow, because tomorrow I am going skiing, so there will be no live stream tomorrow, but we will see you on Friday. So have a good one.